Welcome back, ARK players, to a brand new video. Now, finally, I have some Unreal Engine 5.7 news to share with you. The devs have given us some information. I know we've been waiting for it, and it does look like it is delayed, unfortunately, guys. But I'll be going through all of it. That does mean it's not coming in tomorrow's major version update. Of course, when the update goes live, I will share with you the full information and patch notes of what is in that update. But yes, it's a shame that it is going to be delayed, but I'll go through all of that. We also got the new community crunch this weekend, which was pretty cool. We got the Tide Pup, and also I've got news on the Tide Pup because a lot of people are saying this is copy and paste from Aquatica, and the devs have actually responded to that. So we're going to go through all of that information today. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe, and if you want to come and join our cluster for free Genesis 1 servers day one, as soon as the map launches, and we'll be constantly opening more to make sure there's enough space for you guys. The link to our free cluster is down below. Click the Discord link, join our family, and we've got amazing people that will welcome you in and give you a starter kit if you want one and everything like that. So anyway, link below. Let's get in with the video. Right, so the biggest question, well, not the biggest question of the video, but one of the biggest questions is the Tide Pup copy and paste? Now, as you can see from here, this person said Tide Pup is a reskin of the Mud Pup, and that was from Aquatica, and Jat actually said, they said, just seeing the crunch, isn't that from Aquatica? And he said, nah, it's a unique design, asset, concept, etc. But they've got one as well. Now, if we go into the information as well, this person said, copy and paste from Atlas, copy and paste from ARK, Survival Evolve, Aquatica, copy and paste from everything. And they said it's completely new, everything from scratch. And I kind of, in a way, I kind of knew that they would do that because, one, ARK Survival Evolved is done by like Snail Games and Studio Sirens now, and I very much doubt Studio Wildcard would want to take anything from that. Don't get me wrong, they actually did put together, they did actually put together a fairly decent DLC in the sense of, their ideas were good, and when I played it, I tried it, and it was actually like good. But obviously it broke the entire game, and it was an absolute shambles because no one knew that if you release an update and you don't have the mods updated, it would break every single mod. It was just the most craziest thing, and I doubt, Studio Wildcard have wanted to stay very, very far away from Aquatica because it is not a good look whatsoever, and sadly, it was a bit of a cash grab. And Dolly had a little bit of banter here. They said, that's actually funny. He doesn't talk here much. I'm guessing this is about Jat, but he did to distance this from Aquatica. And he says, no, he did to troll me about the crunch title. But yeah, I mean, what was the crunch title is, what was it again? From shoulder to savior. And I'm guessing that's obviously it's a shoulder pet that's going to be able to save you. But in a way, maybe they can say that they're saving it from Aquatica. But yes, anyway, so it's time to talk about Unreal Engine 5.7, and luckily it's not just soon. We've actually, or soon as they want to say, they did say that it was coming soon because Dolly put up this, this person said RIP, no Unreal Engine 5.7, and she put soon. But anyway, she then did go on and give us the information saying, yes, we should have news in the next week or two. So that does confirm that it is delayed and it's not coming in April, which means if it's going to be in the next week or two, we will either see it in the crunch May 1st or May 8th, unless they delay that as well, but we'll see. So that's just the news as well, and that's what the worrying thing is obviously I'm wondering if it's going to be like the news on the update going live or just to tell us that it's been delayed. Now, the one main problem is Genesis Part 1 is planned for June, and it's being built within 5.7, obviously. So the 5.7 update has to come out before we're going to be able to get Genesis 1. I pretty much said it. A lot of you guys in the community have said it as well. Last year, they released Ragnarok in June, and they planned to release 5.5 ages before that, and then it came in May, and it came a few weeks before Ragnarok. I had a very strong feeling that, they initially said March for Unreal Engine 5.7, and then they officially then announced it in the crunch that it was going to be April, and then my spidey senses were tingling. Something was telling me, you know what, I can see them doing exactly what they did last year. So yes, they said they have news in the next week or two. And what worries me is they're not saying we should have the update. So I don't know. I reckon, to be honest, it's gonna come very late May. I reckon we're like a month away, to be honest. And that for me, I think that's the best case scenario. So. And then something separate from 5.7 is they said, any chance you guys are fixing replicators on Quetzals? And they said that they have been discussing potential options for that. And I do kind of feel like it's coming down to something that's going on here. I could be wrong, by the way, and the devs could be watching this thinking he doesn't have a clue, but I have seen that apparently they've hired this guy, Evanosaurus, and in his name it says Unreal Engine 5.7. We talked about this yesterday, and he said, oh, by the way, a little update, actually signed off the letter on Monday, but very cool things are happening. Details to come soon, and still taking a big chunk of time off to unburn out before I start. Hint, the dinosaurs. And Dolly said, trying to think of a dino game. So it looks like that Wildcard have hired an ex-Epic Games, Fortnite, and Unreal Engine tech guy I'm going to go for. And what I'm thinking is that they've done this to help them in the future with these types of patches. Now, for me, that's great, because we need more people. We need Wildcard to hire these professionals. You know, if we ever want this game to get better, which we all do, and I know Wildcard do as well, they're gonna have to get the right people in to ensure that they're getting the best work done possible. So this is interesting news. I was wondering if there was a reason it got slightly delayed. Maybe they needed some extra help, or maybe they got stuck somewhere and they were like, hey, let's see if we can hire someone, especially in the community. I always like when Studio Wildcard hire. Well, I just like when games hire within the community, because you know you're going to get someone passionate, and by the looks of things, Evanosaurus loves dinosaurs, and that's what you need when you got a dinosaur game. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I was just like, maybe they had a bit of a hiccup somewhere. They were like, they're not ready to release it, and they've gone out and hired someone. So yeah, I mean, of course I want the 5.7 update. I don't want it to be released broken and absolutely destroy everything, and obviously we need time to prepare the mods. The only thing that gets seriously frustrating for players, and having to say it every video is frustrating too, is when they set these time frames and they never, ever, ever, ever hit them. Of course, so many people in the community right now as well are just going on about this, and have been. They put out a product roadmap at the start of the year, survival of the fittest for Q1 2026, and we have not had a single sliver of information from this. I don't know whether Wildcard aren't talking about it because this is Studio Sirens working on it. I don't know where Studio Sirens post. They had an Aquatica Discord. I don't know what's going on. They've been very quiet. They did actually say in their Aquatica Discord that we will be closing, when they close down the official servers for Aquatica, they said we will be announcing very soon the future of Studio Sirens in the ARK franchise. So that was way back at the start of the year as well, and I'm guessing they're not ready on that. So, and they must have had something that they could build on. Now, again, it comes down to the same thing that I say. Communication, 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 Wildcard. Everyone knows communication is what keeps a community happy. If they don't have communication, then people are going to start saying, hey, where's this? This is crazy, blah, 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 blah. And I know that normally the people at the top have the final, obviously you have the final say on when things go out, and, so it's not like Dolly's fault or someone like that there's no news on it. It's the people at the top that make the decisions. And I just think they obviously get told that they're planning it to come Q1, and then it's not ready. If I were Wildcard or Studio Sirens or Snail Games, whatever, I would say, right, we're making a company change and we are not putting out any dates whatsoever. We're saying something will be coming this year until they know 100% that they think that they can, well, not even think, that they know that it's releasing on that date. I just think it would save them so much stress for the future. Everyone always talks about the reputation. They even talked about their reputation and how it's improved. but I just think it's a long way away of where it needs to improve too. I think they could do so much better, and I'm not a game developer, so obviously I don't know, it's not my place to say on what gets made in what time, but I just think communication, changing things around a little bit, this isn't me thinking that I'm so clever in the whole situation, it's just saying to Wildcard what could stop them from getting stressed because the community go crazy when things get delayed. But anyway, that's completely up to them. Unfortunately, I just think we as a community just know dates don't get hit. So when you see a date, then just look at it and take it with, a pinch of salt. Anyway, guys, that is going to be the video. I hope you did enjoy it. I'm personally very excited for Genesis Part 1. I know a lot of you guys too. I have some amazing memories on Genesis Part 1 over on ARK Survival Evolved, and I'm super excited to see what they're going to be doing with the ocean and, and so much to explore. That's what I'm looking forward to. Having my pirate ship, sailing out with my I was about to say my fam, but I'd say more like my family, team, whatever you want to call it, sailing out into the sea, and also seeing some of you guys out on your pirate ships too, and then just, parking up the ship, going for a swim, and seeing and experiencing the Genesis Ocean. Now, I'm sure we're going to have to be quite careful, though. I think, especially if there's a giant kraken coming. But yes, anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.